The combined impact of Nigerian depreciation and high inflation pressure has triggered a 121% increase in the production cost of cement. Hello and welcome to Business Points. My name is Samuel Odi. Hope you had a good weekend. On today's edition of the program, we'll be looking at top gainers and losers, as well as the current exchange dollar to naira rates, as well as having conversations around the cost of the production of cement and the reason why the price has been on the increase. So we are also going to be looking at these angles where reasons why the cost of cement has been on a high and why a whole lot of illegal smuggling or export of cement has been happening to neighboring countries. That is what we'll be looking at today. But before then, let me bring you up to speed with what the Director Executive of BUA Cement has to say. The Nigerian hopes for a lower cement price. Nigerians are deeming for a lower price of cement. Another factor militating against the lower price of the product is a rising trend in smuggling to neighboring countries where the price is higher than the price in Nigeria. In the neighboring countries like Chad and Cameroon, the price range from $120 to $150 per 50 kg bag of cement. At an exchange rate of 1,600 to $1, this translates to a price of 240,000 to 270,000 naira per a bag of cement, which is far higher than the local price of 8,000 naira. Still, Nigerians need the price to be lowered down from 8,000 naira. Confirming this development, Kabir Rabiu, Group Executive Director, BUA Cement, says one of the pressure faced by the organization is the higher level of illegal smuggling of export of cement to Cameroon and Chad. What happens is if they take just across a bag of cement across the border of this market, it is selling at 150 to 200 US dollars. That is why most of the times the Nigerian market realizes that the cost of cement is actually not only going up in the northeast, but in Maiduguri in particular, because there's a lot of distributors taking this cement across borders because it offers a lot more margin. The financial performance now, let's look at the financial performance now of cement from last year and this year. Looking at the analysis of the financial performance of the top 3 leading cement manufacturers revealed a decline in the profitability due to the rising costs of the production. The companies are Dangote, obviously, BUA Cement, and Lafarge Africa cement companies. Specifically, the combined revenue of the 3 top cement manufacturing companies grew by 84.5% to 1.116 trillion in the first quarter from 606.9 billion in the corresponding period of the first quarter of 2023. Now, this is how well the revenue that is looking at the financial performance and the statistics now, specifically combine the revenue of the 3 companies, which is at 84.5% to a 1.116 trillion in the first quarter from 604.9 billion in the corresponding period of the first quarter of 2023. So you can see the margin and then the massive difference which has been going on between in this sector of the business. So all of this is that's resulting said by Kabir, who is the executive director of BUA Cement. The higher cost of smuggling has just crippled the way and the financial margin between these companies. So we are hoping to see that the change happens. But the rise in revenue was, however, overshadowed by a 121% spike in the combined production cost of 586.6 billion in the first quarter of 2024. They're looking at from the previous, which is at 246.9 billion in the first quarter of 2023. So you're seeing the difference of the margin now and then how much these companies are losing due to all of these factors. What ways or what means now do we need to avert all of this now? Bringing it down now, the current price is around 8,000 naira in the market, and then it's being projected that it might go higher than that, but a whole lot of persons are being sitting and then crying out and calling on the government to look into those areas and then see, because due to this fact, a whole lot of infrastructural development has not been going on due to the high cost of all of cement and every other building materials required. But all of these are about to, change, given the fact that the price is set to, decline in the coming months and coming weeks. So that's how much we can take on that segment. But let's come back and then look at Nigerian Stock Exchange, where Nigerian Stock Exchange NSE index is a major stock market index which tracks the performance of all stocks listed in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The main stock market index in Nigeria, increased by 2,289 points, or 30% since the beginning of 2024, according to trades on the contract of difference that tracks the benchmark index from Nigeria. The current value of the Nigerian Stock Exchange All Share Index is currently at 97582 points. The change now of the Nigerian Stock Exchange All Shares Index has decreased by a minus 163.32 points, or minus 0.17 from the previous day. Year-to-date change, the Nigerian Stock Exchange All Share Index has increased by 43.35% since the beginning of the year. Looking on the very brighter side, Nigerian stocks that increased in the most price, Nigerian companies below, are the top gainers, and they have shown biggest daily growth price, but have always risked a resentment. So to make sure that they considered all stats, including share price and market cap. So now looking at the top gainers now from the previous market and then the price as well, we're looking at Oando, which is leading. Obviously, most of the times, the oil sector leads the Nigerian stock exchange and then profit margin. So Oando starting at the point of 10%, followed by Total Energy, which is at 9.98% increase. That is the profit margin now, and Etana Filling Station, which is also at 5%. So moving on, we're going to be looking at the food industry, hospitality, Tantalizer, which is leading with around 9.68%, followed by NASCO, which is at 5.59%, then Transcorp Hilton, which is at 4.35%. Let's look at the top gainers from the financial industry. First Bank of Nigeria topping with 1.0%, followed by Fidelity Bank, which is topping with second on the list with 1.42%, followed by United Bank of Africa at 0.45%. Then last but not the least, or last on the list from the financial sector, is GT Bank, which is followed at 0.11%. These are from the top gainers from the previous business week. Then let's talk about the top losers, which are TIP, which lost at minus 9.78%, FTN minus 5.00%, Jazz Bank minus 2.22%, Rema Bank minus 1.54%, WAPCO minus 1.0%. So that's for the top losers. We'll be going on a quick break, and then when we return back, we'll be having a little bit of conversation about the Nigerian FX market. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, welcome on board. This is Business Point on Global Television. So let's look at the Nigerian FX market, right? So Nigerian FX markets, let's take you back a little bit from Thursday and before the close of business as at Friday. The greenback rose from the 7 month low aimed some bragging hunting through dollar gains were capped by expectation of the interest rate cuts. The Nigerian naira gained roughly around 50 naira, settling at 1,543 naira as at Wednesday last week to a dollar, from up to 1,592 naira to a dollar from the previous day. According to the data, however, the domestic currency lost the 1,600 support line in the black market, trading at 1,610 naira to a dollar as at last week Wednesday, compared to the 1,605 naira which it traded a previous day. Market indicators confirmed that despite improved condition in the Nigerian FX market, the local currency is struggling to maintain the crucial of 1,500 support level and under the significant strain this month. You know, the fundamentals suggested that local currencies may move towards 1,800 to a dollar if it cannot sustain its current level at this point. Even staunch postponement of free market economy will be spectacle that the naira will rush its March higher this quarter. So this is how much the naira is doing as at yesterday. Looking at, let's backdate a little bit. Looking at the auction of $870 million by the Central Bank of Nigeria has actually helped Nigerian naira rebound so much as at the previous from the last 2 weeks. Stately and majorly gained more last week, Thursday, Friday, and then closed the market at 1,500 and 1,544 naira. That was how the market closed as at Friday last week. This sale of auction of $870 million has helped Nigeria regain and then gain more momentum in the FX market, and all of this now has improved businesses, and we are hoping to see more of this. But looking at the angle where it's been projected, and then the forecast is saying if Nigerian naira doesn't maintain its line at 1,500, it might project, then that means we're expecting to see a bullish sign. But we are hoping to see a bearish sign when it has to deal with Nigerian naira, because obviously whatever reflects to the naira obviously affects Nigerian economy and as well as the Nigerian market, and then the citizens get to, have a little bit of struggle when it comes to meeting ends meet. So we are hoping that the naira is actually going to rebound more and then, knock dollar a little bit more lower this week as the forecast gets on. But remaining on the line at 1,500 is what we're hoping to see before the close of business this week, given the fact that currently naira, the exchange rate in the black market is at 1,610 naira as at this morning. So we are hoping to see if you go to exchange your dollar for naira now, you're going to be exchanging $1 for 1,610 naira to a dollar. We are hoping to see that there will be a change, and then the naira before the close of business this week is going to maintain its line of 1,500, and we are hoping to see that happen. So we'll be moving away a little bit from hard paper currency, and then we move a little bit into digital currency. Yes, talking about digital currency and crypto, we are looking at Bitcoin at this hour, where Bitcoin now has risen. I'll always bring you to speed to the fact that Bitcoin has been projected to hit $100,000 before the close of business this year. That's talking about December 31st, 2024. And now, despite a little bit of decline and then bearish sign that Bitcoin suffered last week, is still suffering the same as at the open of business this morning. Bitcoin is being sold currently as at $64,000 per a coin. So this is how much is being sold at. But before we get deep into that, Wyoming plans to launch a dollar-based stable coin to Wyoming stable token in the first quarter of 2024. The digital asset aims to provide fast, cheap transactions for individuals and business in the states. Governor Mark Gordon emphasized the importance of adopting this dollar-dependent stablecoin to stabilize the market and bring debt offshore, a faster and cheaper way to transact. The U.S. state of Wyoming plans to launch a dollar-based stablecoin in the first quarter of 2024. known as the Wyoming stablecoin. The digital asset is intended to provide individuals with business base in states with a fast and cheaper way to transact. Stablecoin is also expected to create a new revenue stream for Wyoming while serving as a model for a digitalized dollar at federal level. The report quotes that Wyoming Governor Mac Gordon explains the importance of adopting dollar-dependent stablecoin. One of the biggest things for him is to be able to bring back offshore a lot of our debt because of its brought by the treasuries and supported by Treasury. It will help to stabilize the market to a degree. So this coin now that is about to be launched is actually going to be launched because of how strong the algorithm of Bitcoin is and the passive way that it moves. So you're looking at this happening in the first quarter of 2024. So if the projection and the forecast for Bitcoin does happen, that means this coin will be listed in the first quarter of 2025, and then it's going to be listed obviously around a dollar to a coin or more, depending on what how good and Bitcoin and every other Ethereum coin has happened. So Bitcoin has been the longest, obviously, in the market of cryptocurrency, and then it's leading the pack of cryptocurrency, despite the fact that Nigerians now, we're beginning, the federal government, the FRCN, SEC, Central Bank of Nigeria, Ministry of Finance, all of them are putting heads together to have crypto regulations and then tax laws that will regulate cryptocurrency and trading of cryptocurrency in Nigeria. They are planning ways of how all of this can be tracked. If we could backtrack during the EndSARS protests, one of these coin, to be specific, Bitcoin was used to finance the protest. It's also being said again that they just concluded End Bad Governance protest was also being financed with crypto. So with all of this happening and this development now, still Nigerian government wants to have it in the system and have it regularized. So issues like this, when it does happen, would be able to be tracked. So kudos to the Nigerian government, and we are hoping to see that all of this happens swiftly, and those that have been using for terrorism financing would be arrested and be brought to book. So let's come back to business properly, as you know, we're looking at still the cryptocurrency, looking at Bitcoin now and its projection for the next couple of months. We're hoping to see that it hits a very good mark for this week before the close of business, up to around 70,000 US dollars. If it does hit up to 70,000 US dollars and maintains that line on the bullish side, that means it's going to definitely hit 100,000 US dollars before the close of business. So if that does happen, definitely we would always see a bull side and a bear side when it has to deal with FX and as well as Bitcoin. Since the emerge of Bitcoin, 2 weeks ago, the Russian government signed it into law, and then it's being legalized now in Russia. And since that happened, we've seen a spike, raising from 52,000 US dollars as of 2 weeks ago. Now, in the next 2 weeks, we are seeing it raising to up to 64,000 US dollars. That's a significant increase, and that is what it is about the coin. Now, looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and every Shiba coin, they are all getting rapid growth and rapid success, and all of this now is thanks to Bitcoin that has very strong algorithm. Looking at Ethereum now, Ethereum is actually being sold at 2,600 to 2,800 from last week. Now it has hit a margin of 2,700, given the fact that Bitcoin is also on the rise. So the effect of Bitcoin being on the rise also affects every other coin that comes beneath it. So it's just more like, you know, you being up there in the ladder and then pulling up your friends up so that they can be up there with you as well. So that is how well Bitcoin is doing. So now let's come back home to Nigeria, where these regulations will be put in place. A whole lot of things have been said, and most persons feel that cryptocurrency and crypto coins are actually used for illegal means. But I think with the current laws that are going to be put in place and the fact that the Nigerian government is adapting and getting into it, it's going to educate people more, and as well as, workshop will be set by the Central Bank of Nigeria, FRC and SEC, and then all these guys will put heads together to make sure that the regulation happens, and then workshop and awareness comes for Nigerians to be able to know how to operate this. And then for investors as well that are looking to getting deep into cryptocurrency and the FX market, regulations are being worked on, and then they're going to be put in place for everybody to be able to have this business being done locally. My name is Samuel Odie, but we'll be going on a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the business for today.
Every government and introduction of new policies, businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okeri tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point. This is business.
Many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, you're almost very late. But let's bring you up to speed with the top earners of the previous business week. That's Oando leading from the oil sector, oil and gas. Oando was leading with 10%, followed by Total Energy with 9.98%, followed by Ethereum with 5%. Eternal, sorry, I said Ethereum. Eternal leading with 5%. So this is how much, and then the margin I've showed and the focus has shown that this business is actually going to project and then hit another spike before the end of business this week. So we'll see how that goes. Looking at the Forex and then the FX, Nigerian FX, is also being said and forecast that in the coming days before the close of business, Nigerian Naira is set to gain more against the US dollar. So now it just boils down to the fact of which you would want to do. Would you want to run with the bear, or would you want to run or spike up with the bull, or stay low with the bear? It's just for you to discover and then find out what angle you would go with. That's that on Business Point for today. My name is Samuel Odie. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.